Hi guys, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm saying this. Anywho, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like it here, and I hope I will be your new favorite YouTuber. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but my name is Lavinia, a Namibian YouTuber based in the UK. Yeah, so this is the start of my YouTube channel. I really hope you stick around, and I hope you subscribe, and then you share the content that I'm going to produce here. You like the videos that I'm going to be putting out here. So this channel will be mainly vlogs, lifestyle content, travel, and a bit of sit down here and there. So if that's your kind of vibe, please do consider subscribing, like and share the content that we're going to drop here. So let's get into today's video. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So guys, this happened to me with my child's nanny. Okay, so for context, I have a 9-month-old baby. And then since I move mostly between the UK and Namibia, I had a stay in Nanny. So this nanny was so good, so good. When I say was good, and I mean so good. She was so good with my baby, with the other household chores like your cleaning, your ironing. Yeah, but she was not responsible for cooking, so that's not was not part of her duty or responsibilities. But her main responsibility was taking care of the baby. So my baby was well taken care of, so well taken care of. She was well fed, they were best friends to each other, so to say. So I wasn't worried at all. So I would leave, even for 3 months, I would leave them at home with my husband and my other child. So one time, it was now time for me to go back, guys. So my husband dropped me off. I'm laughing now, but I was so heartbroken. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but now I'm able to talk about it. So yeah. So my husband dropped me at the airport, and then I checked in, and then I went. I was going to UK through Addis Ababa. And then my husband proceeded with going back, and then he passed by some friends, and then he got home around 7:30 there. And as always, every time I come from work, we always find my nanny or our nanny in the room with the baby, and she will come out here and there, but she wasn't really somebody that would stay in the sitting room with us for like quite some time. So when we get home, most of the time we always find her maybe in the room. I will take the baby when we get home, and then we'll sort of be with the baby maybe for 2 or 3 hours while she's just doing other things. So that was kind of the routine, but most of the times we just find her in the room. So on that fateful evening, as always, when my husband got there, she found them sort of sleeping because it was quite late and it was her sleeping time. So he didn't bother to go and go check up on them or get the baby, because yeah, they're sleeping because it's her sleeping time. Yeah. So so he just also proceeded to the bedroom, and he just got on with other things. I think he was doing some report or something, and home girl was on the flight to Addis, guys. So sometime around 9 o'clock, my husband just had a glass fall, like the sound of a glass falling. And then Natalie started, my baby's name is Natalie. Natalie started crying. So she cried like for a good 5 minutes. Guys, why is the noise? Sorry guys for the noise. My room, I'm filming from a room that's just across the main road. Yeah. So my husband then was now waiting for Natalie to stop crying, but the baby was not stopping crying. So now he went then to go check up what's going on, because there's nothing that's happening. So when he got to the room, he then found the nanny under the blankets, and the baby still crying. And then there's like glass all over the floor. And then he was like, oh, what is happening here? And then she was like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, what do you mean I don't know? The baby's crying and there's glass all over, you know. And then she was like, oh no, she doesn't know. And then my husband was like, oh, can I have the baby, because the baby is still crying. And then she was just still under the blankets. And then my husband went and then took the baby, and then he was then like, what's happening? Why are you not feeling well? He was like, no, I'm fine. And then he was then like, okay, can you give me the baby's pacifier? Because Natalie usually just keep quiet when you put the pacifier. So then instead of giving the pacifier, home girl was giving the lid for the bottle, for the milk bottle. And then my husband was like, I need a pacifier, not the lid. And then she kept giving the lid. And then my husband was like, what is going on? So he picked up the glass and then he smelled, and he could smell alcohol, wine, red wine. So let's pause here. So usually, or I am, let me just say this, I am a wine lover. I have bottles of wines, and I usually just drink dry wine. I have a lot of wine bottles, and they were like sort of in a rack. And then because of the baby, when the baby started growing, we had to remove them and then put them in boxes because she could pull them out. All right. So the story gets interesting, guys. So my husband was like, oh, where's this alcohol coming from? Are you drunk? And so forth. And home girl could not even say a word. That's how drunk she was, guys. So my husband took the baby. He was like, okay, please clean her up. Took the baby, and then they went in the room. And I was like, okay, we'll sort this out tomorrow. Guys, I get into others. I switch on my phone. I connect to the airport Wi-Fi. And the first thing that I always get to do when I get to connect my phone is to call my husband to say I'm way. And then I just saw text coming in. Found you Nanny drunk. Da. I was like, what? So I called him immediately, and then he now started narrating the story that I just told you guys. Lord, I just lost it. I just fell on the ground. I didn't know what to do. I just broke into tears. So everybody around me was now, what's wrong? What's going on? Oh my goodness, I can't. I just fell on the ground. Like I literally couldn't move. I started shaking. I just grabbed on something. And then I just fell on the ground. I was just like, what? This girl that is so sweet. This girl, I know she drinks, but not to that extent. Like, and I didn't know she could be that irresponsible. I was disappointed. Like, I didn't know what to do at that point. And my next flight was like in 30 minutes. I was like, oh wow, what to do, 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 what to do. So I started, I called my mom and I told her, I was in tears, and mom was like, okay, no, don't worry, we'll see tomorrow what we can do. And guys, I was crying. Everybody was looking at me like a mad person. Then I called, I think I just called 2 people. No, I called actually 3 people, and I called my other friend, and I was like, this happened and so forth, and she was like, okay, no, don't worry, I could borrow you my nanny because her kid is actually going on holiday because it's school holiday. I was like, okay. So she was like, yeah, don't worry, and so forth and so forth. So then my nanny started calling that friend of mine, because that friend of mine was sort of the one that also they sort of formed a connection or a relationship, because she is my closest friend and she would come by, and then so they formed that relationship already. And I called my other sister just to narrate the story to her, you know, because my sister, she would always laugh about things, you know. So I just called her to calm me down a little bit. And then I then told my husband that it's fine. Tomorrow, don't worry, we'll get another nanny. My friend will borrow me a nanny, and then she can just go home, because obviously we can't trust her. I mean, obviously, because the baby is small, and also I'm not home most of the time, so we're just like, she got to go. Okay, fast forward, everything was in place, everything was good. Just waiting now for the next day so that she can go. The story doesn't end there, guys. So I get into the flight to UK, which is going to arrive the next morning. So again, the usual, I got there, connect my Wi-Fi. Again, just messages coming in left, right, and center. No, apparently your husband. At this point, I was just like, wow, God, please, not now. So, sorry guys, what's wrong with my camera? Okay, so I was just like, okay, God, please, not now. So when I got there, the messages came in that, no, your nanny left last night. So I was like, what? Wait, what happened? So I called my husband, and when I called him, he then from the story of, you know, we ended where they said we're going to solve this the next morning. So the girl, because she was so drunk, she then went to, after my husband has taken the baby, and then, you know, we'll solve this tomorrow morning. She then went, she kept calling my friend, and then she even started apparently asking for transport money for her back home, and my friend was just like, you know what, I'm not your employer, please talk to your employer. I think me and you, we are done, because what you did, I'm not going to entertain it. So then during that night now, she started knocking on my on our bedroom, and then my husband was like, what is it? And then like, no, she started explaining why she was drinking. So she was like, she was drinking because she was not happy, because I set her down like 3 weeks ago to just say that I was not happy about something that she did. She started borrowing money from my friends and my siblings, and also because we used to pay her cash. So I was wondering, like, I sat her down and I was wondering, I don't understand how you borrow money when we pay you cash and you don't go anywhere. Where does that money go? You know, how do you waste that money? And how is it possible that I was just questioning, why is it possible that you don't have the money and you don't go anyway? And also, when you only ask us to, send like 350 to your mom. So that's when we realized that, okay, so that's when she then said that I actually just threatened her. I was just like, not threatened, I was just like, wait. Somebody is outside. Okay. So that's when we then discovered that there's somebody that come get the cash. And we found out that the person that come get the cash is actually a boyfriend. So it's like, I started not to trust you, because how do you bring someone here to pick up the cash, or where do you guys meet? And then she was like, no, we meet down the street. And I was like, you go with my child and you never told me any of this, right? So I was like, I'm starting to not trust you because of A, B, and C. So then she was then explaining to my husband that the reason she's doing that is because I said I'm starting not to trust her. Then my husband was like, you know what? I don't want to listen to your whatever made you drink, but you cannot just drink with a baby, And then he was like, we'll sort it out tomorrow, please just go sleep, I don't want to entertain this, I'm very angry, so just leave it to tomorrow. Guys, okay. And then I go sleep. So to 12 a.m. my husband just heard the garage door opening, and then he was like, what? So he then came out of the room just to find the garage door open, and homegirl is walking down the street. So my husband was like, where are you going? And it's like, no, I'm moving out, I'm going. You're like, where is this attitude coming from? Guys. So then my husband called my little sister, like, no, can you please come, because this is happening, so please just come. The person is in the street, I have the babies in the house, so just come so that you assist me. Okay, so my sister, quickly, they were coming from my other sister, so they quickly came in the street, and then I found her in the street. So she was like, where are you going? And please, let's go back in the house, it's late. We then came back in the house, and then my sister was like, yeah, please just apologize, and then maybe the people will let you stay, and then she was just like, no, me, I want to go, and so forth. So my husband was like, okay, you can go, we'll call somebody to come and drop you, because we don't want you to go, it's in the middle of the night, and we don't want you to go in a taxi at this point, because we are still responsible for you. So she was just like, no, I'm going. So my husband was like, because just let's backtrack a little bit. So when she came, she didn't have a phone. When she came to us, she didn't have a phone, and then we bought her a Tamagotchi. And then that Tamagotchi, my daughter, apparently she was putting it in the mouth, so saliva went in there, so it stopped not working, but it stopped just not working very well. And because I stay out of the country most of the time, so I then decided to buy her a phone, like a smartphone. So even when she came to us without a phone, my husband, for that Tamagotchi, my husband went to buy a SIM card and registered the SIM card in his name. So my husband was then like, okay, because I think the phone, we just had bought it like 4 weeks ago. So my husband was like, okay, if you're going, then you will have to leave the phone, and because there's my SIM card there, and also we bought it for you for the purposes that my wife needs to be communicating with you. Okay, so she was like, you know what she did, this girl? She smashed the phone. Yes, she did. She smashed the phone. So my husband was like, okay, I think this is becoming toxic now. It's not giving now. So I think it's becoming serious. So, and I'm very angry, you know. So I don't want to deal with this. I'm calling the police. My husband called the police, guys. If you know my husband, you won't think you do that, because that's not me and him. So he called the police, and then the police came, and then he was like, what is it? And then the police was like, okay, so we just want to drop you wherever you want to go, because you see, this is what you're doing, and homegirl then decided she's not going anywhere. She's not leaving the house. Guys, this girl. Okay. Wow. My husband was like, please pack your things. And then she was refusing, started fighting with the police, and eventually she went to pack. Guys, when she went to pack, we found a wine bottle. It was halfway. My wine. And then we also found some beer cans and so forth. So this girl had a whole brewery in our house, and all the time she was in the house, in the room. We found her in the room. We assumed that she was drunk, because when we went to check in the boxes where the wine bottles were, there was nothing. There was nothing. So my husband was like, please go help her pack so that she doesn't pack other things. Guys, she was like, no, I'm packing this, I'm packing this, I'm packing the alcohol. That's how hectic and how drunk this girl was with my 9-month-old baby. Guys. So then the police took her to the police station, and then she slept at the police station, and then my husband went to just to have her released the next morning, and then he gave her like $400 just so she can go back where we took her from. And then that was the end. That was the end of the whole drama. Guys, I'm telling you, when you have a nanny, please monitor them closely, because what you see on the surface is not what it is. So here we are looking for nannies, guys. I thought I found a perfect nanny, a nanny that I would stay with for like maybe 10 years or so. That was my plan, that was our plan. But yeah, here we are, and I'm so grateful to my friend for borrowing me her nanny. I don't know what I would do without my friends. But guys, that's the end of the story. Thank you so much for sticking by this far. If you're still watching, please drop some white hearts. Thank you so much, and see you in the next vlog. Bye.